Beals here with no nonsense, cause you can't make sense if you don't make sense. A pod with freestyle discussion, poetry and social deconstruction.
Woo! Check it out, man. We are moving at a speed of 20 fucking miles an hour. We're not even moving our legs. Are you blown away or what?
I tell you one thing, I sure am there, Bill.
Driving just does not get people excited anymore. Back in my day, we would get pumped when you'd be driving down the street. Look at this.
Welcome to the No Nonsense Podcast. Listen to that exuberance. My name's Big Burn. This is my co-host,
Bill.
This is December 11th, 2014, episode 33. We're going to go ahead and start you off with a little... I'm feeling down. I need something to cheer me up. What could stop me from singing the same sad old song? I'm not old enough to care about my lawn. I'm not sexy enough to pull off wearing a thong. Oh wait, I know the answer. Time to play some Donkey Kong. So, Beals, let me ask you about Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
A very popular game franchise, and he was born around the same time frame as Mario was. Now, like Donkey Kong does garner a lot of sales and critical awards, he doesn't have quite the same platform and popularity that Mario does. Why do you think this is? What do you think it is about that Italian plumber that has allowed him to be the most prominent icon of the Nintendo franchise, as opposed to Donkey Kong, who's just always been second tier?
I think what the problem really lies in is that creationists are really not taking into account the fact that Donkey Kong is an evolved ape, and that Mario is just even further evolved ape. So what it is paying homage to our ancestry, the way that the early hominids would have interacted in the world by defeating, various types of strange other animals like penguins and birds.
Right.
But what we see now is more people are going for the evolved Mario. They think it's an elitist. They think he is the one that was created. And so the evolutionary biologists are saying, hey, look, this is our ancestry, Donkey Kong, early hominids. You look at Mario, and that's what the other people on the other side, the Christians, the Islams, the Jews, the Buddhists, they are all saying, hey, look it, this is Mario. He's God. So,
Any relation to the bonobos?
Bonobos are actually on the newest wave of experimental evolution that's being really indoctrinated by Dr. Ebola, and he is pushing to have bonobos, be at the forefront of the Iraqi invasions.
Do you think he's pushing that because he's good at push-ups when he was a kid?
I think what he's actually even better at is the Flintstones push-ups. He did create the Flintstone push-up ice pop that we see in your local grocery store, and I think that if we see more of those around, it's more of an indication that bonobos are on the rise.
Wow. I must concur with the bonobo thesis, which is that there are no equal playing fields when it comes to the soccer paradigm there, Bill.
I agree with you completely, John.
Quick, to a news break! Breaking news from Atlanta. A toxic relationship has been brewing between our erasers in the American classroom. The classic bifurcation of blue and pink in our erasers could be eradicated if this sour relationship doesn't resolve itself. Pink has been riding a wave of arrogance for over 15 years as being the most used side, as blue has felt neglected like a piece of trash. Detractors of the blue side claim it has no pragmatic purpose, while supporters have claimed its contribution to erasing pencil strokes is more artistic in nature. Principals, teachers, and Walmarts will be monitoring this situation closely, as a breakup between pink and blue could signify the fall of a nation. So, let's get back to Donkey Kong for a moment. What do you think about the other animals in the Donkey Kong kingdom, such as Dixie Kong, Grandpa Dong, Diddy Kong, trying to steal Donkey Kong's thunder? Do you think that these animals should be exterminated and we should focus solely on Donkey Kong, and that we should basically terminate these other ancillary Kongs.
There's been a lot of discussion about termination, but we do have to reiterate that these are the other different types of offspring that Donkey Kong can produce. And so we see all the three varieties. You've got the Diddy, you've got the Kitty, you've got the Riddy. And when you see this variety, you're able to really analyze where his species can grow and go to. So that eradication kind of falls in line and suit with Hitler and the way he thought it would have been good to clean the earth. And so we're not trying to clean Kongs anymore.
Well, humor me, but from what I've heard is that Donkey Kong is actually asexual, and that he actually traverses to a different universe known as the Planet of the Apes and steals his sons and daughters from Caesar in Planet of the Apes. And he usually does this when Caesar has been distracted by the humans trying to fight back against him and his colonies. What do you have to say about these allegations of Donkey Kong being asexual and being, quite frankly, a chimp thief?
I think the allegations are completely invalid because of we've seen recently Donkey Kong is pushing himself in the market for the porn industry, and we're seeing a lot more Donkey Kong based porn videos where we're seeing big giant schlongs that are able to break through barrels, and that seems to be something that's turning people on. And obviously, by having a schlong and going through the process of sexual reproduction, he is not an asexual, and the allegations are false.
Yeah, because in the film Boogie Nights, Dirk Diggler's character, filmed during the golden age of pornography in the 70s and early 80s, one has been saying that maybe Dirk Diggler's penis was not inspired by John Holmes, that it was actually inspired by Donkey Kong's penis. And when you see Mark Wahlberg's penis at the end of the movie, it actually is a severed Donkey Kong penis that has made its way to an attached Mark Wahlberg body.
That is a very interesting insight there. I did not know that the removal of Donkey Kong's penis was an actual thing. There have been rumors and talks about it, but that makes me want to go back and see the movie, Bill.
Well, the thing is that it all ties into the fact that the allegations that he's asexual and that he considered having a penis optional at that point, since he had no interest in reproducing and only interest in chimp thievery with Caesar and the Planet of the Apes colonies.
Yeah, I do think that Donkey Kong does get along with other apes very well, and I think that we will see a larger rise of apes, Planet of Apes, and I think that with the adventation of the new Congress that we're seeing in the United States, we may see more congressmen come out as being closeted donkeys.
Now, how do you think that the Boogie Nights universe, the Donkey Kong universe, and the Planet of the Apes universe have coalesced into one universe? How do you think this has happened? Do you think this is through the endoplasmic reticulum symbiotic relationship with the ungarnered wages of the United States of brown America?
There's a group of Donkey Kongs that were living and inhabiting the world, wherein they were impregnated by the Dirk Diggler movement, and soon they had gained human intelligence and became part of the Planet of the Apes. And what they did is they started taking over the city. And the very first documentation of this is when you see Donkey Kong chasing after a Mario in the early 1980s video game called Mario Brothers.
Wow. So I guess with the empirical evidence being so strong that these three universes have coalesced, it is suggesting that the multiverse theory that we talked about earlier in the pod could be true. So on that note, Beals, would you please leave us with a pod to help the listeners grasp the story that is Donkey Kong and his baggage, please?
Sure, no problem, Bon. No matter how big your dick, it's neither right or wrong. I mean, if it's shallow or thick or like Donkey Kong, it doesn't mean anything in the long run. You'll still be able to run with the big guys and show them your big gun. If you want to make it in the world, there's one thing you gotta know. You have to be able to produce a large amount of your own snow. So, when you run into an issue like trying to find a way out, you have to get down on your knees and get ready to shout, because sometimes Donkey Kong's ready to ram it inside you. If you can't deal with that, then you'll never make any money, dude.
Thank you. That's Burn Beals signing off. No Nonsense Podcast, Donkey Kong Edition.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Hope you got some insight and a few laughs. That's all for now, folks. Yes, goodbye. Till next time, as long